Okay, guys, let's talk Champions Cup. Now, depending on when you're going to be watching this, the draw for the pool stages is the 1st of July. Who do you want in your pool stage? Who's your favorite squad? And I want to break down mine as a Saints fan. So, before I continue, please like and subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. And let's break it down together, right? So, me as a Saints fan, we all know the Champions Cup last year was actually pretty fruitful. We ended up losing to Bordeaux in the finals, which ultimately they deserved to win. They also went on to play Toulouse in the top 14 finals, and ultimately they lost. It was just one of those days, but although it was a big game. Now, the Saints are. They aren't Bordeaux, they aren't Toulouse. They had a horrible season in the Gallagher Premiership last year. And our shining light for the year was the Champions Cup. Now, looking at a lot of these teams, do I want any of them? Quite frankly, no. I don't want any of them. If you can avoid it altogether, I would be happy. But alas, we need to choose. Right now, I would love to have a couple names my in our pool stage. There are also a couple names that I would like to avoid. So I would love to hear from you guys as to who you support and the teams that ideally you would like to have in your pool stages. So for me, I would not be upset if we were to get, let's say, the Scarlets, or I don't know, maybe even Castra. Um, I could potentially have someone like Gloucester. Honestly, Gloucester, they're having such a big exodus. They aren't going to be ready. They aren't going to be prepped. They aren't going to have that same kind of rhythm like a lot of these teams have. So I, I wouldn't test to that. But there are certainly a couple names that I really want to avoid. And it's names like Leinster, Bordeaux, Toulouse, Bath. I mean, Bath just came through an amazing, amazing season, winning not only European, but both domestic titles. So they are going to be a scary, scary customer next year because we all know that they are not going to be, they are not going to be, what's the word for it, accepting an EPCR championship. They are going to want to go for the Champions Cup. They want the biggest and the baddest trophy that you can possibly get. So, yeah, there are a couple big names in here that I would honestly love to avoid, but that's all going to come out on the draw. So, we look at the Saints season last year in the Premiership. They were truly woeful, finishing, I believe it was eighth. And at points, they felt like they just couldn't defend to save their lives. One day, we would look like the champions that we were prior. And then the next, we would look like, we didn't even know how to string two passes together. So I'm really, really hopeful for the new season. We are going to be seeing a lot of fresh talent coming in and a lot of youth prospects coming through. We did see the likes of Henry Pollock really shine in his first season as a Saints player, but 2025, 26 is actually going to be his first full season. He only started making he only started making first team appearances, genuine first team appearances at the back end of the season last year. So we are going to be seeing a Henry Pollock that is not only capped by England, we're going to be seeing a Henry Pollock that's being capped by the Lions, and he's going to be having a full season under his belt to develop even further. We are then also going to be seeing the likes of Alex Mitchell, Finn Smith, Tommy Freeman. Then you have the likes of Eogan, which is an absolute monster. Warren Augustus is leaving for Ulster, which is very, very sad to see because I truly did enjoy Troki and his ability to just break through play. But there's a lot of talent for the Saints. I just hope that they can fix the areas that they struggled so much with last season and that inconsistency, which really, really brought the Saints down. But hey, if they are able to perform again like they did for the Champions Cup, I'm not going to be upset with it. I would just like to see a little bit more consistency throughout the board. Now, the Champions Cup next season is going to be very, very difficult. We are going to be seeing a lot of names, and we are also going to be seeing Antoine Dupont come back. right? So the likes of Toulouse with Antoine Dupont is a completely different ballgame. We saw the dominant performances that they've put in through the season, and we got to take in consideration a vast majority of that top 14 season was without Antoine Dupont because he ended up getting injured in the Six Nations. But having teams like this, whether you have Leinster, who, yes, they are going to be losing Geordie Barrett, but they are going to be bringing in players like Reiko Ioane, which, albeit he's a completely different style player, he is still a very, very effective and experienced player. We are going to be seeing a lot of players like Clarkson, who's really stepping into his boots, and he's, well, say, growing into his boots, and he's really becoming a top level forward. So there are a lot of players throughout the squads, you know throughout the entire course of the year that's really, really going to develop. We've seen the likes of the Bulls, who are notoriously strong, and they are very fierce, considering how far they made it into the Champions Cup. And then we also take in consideration the likes of the Sharks, who have amazing, amazing talent throughout their squad, and they got a lot of youth. They got a lot of Springboks. So will we see a lot more of these players come through? Who knows? But the big one for me is really going to be Andre Pollard coming and starting the new season with the Bulls. He is really going to be terrifying, absolutely terrifying. And I do think that this is one of the final pieces that the Bulls really, really needed to have a very, very strong season throughout, because they got a lot of talent in their ranks. They got a lot of experience. They got a lot of leaders. But now they have one of the best clutch kickers in world rugby. And that's without a doubt. We saw his performances for the Springboks. We saw his performances for Leicester as well. Now he's going to be taking it up to another level, going back to the Bulls, and really, really going to set the league alight. So you better not give him a dead ball situation, because that's only going one way, and that's in between the middle of the posts. So I want to hear what you guys have to say. I want to hear who you fear and who you want in your pool. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe. And yeah, who are you most looking forward to seeing next year? Catch you guys later. Bye.